I'm going to tell you one of the ways that you can graduate without student loans. And then I'm going to give you a different perspective to consider that could possibly land you your dream job without even having to study. Welcome to Finish First Financially. I'm Goran Radanovic. Now, one of the things that high school graduates immediately want to do is to enroll into university so that they can get their studies over and done with to eventually land their dream job and then start making money. That's the goal of most people who enroll into universities. Now, to do that, that usually means that somebody's going to have to pay for your tuition or you're going to have to take out a student loan. If that's not possible, then one of the options that you could consider is taking off 2 or 3 years after graduating high school to work full time. And after you've graduated high school, that's actually the best time to do this because you're most likely living with your parents. So you don't have to pay for rent, probably food as well. You've got minimal expenses that you need to fund in order to survive. So by working a full-time job, you're going to save as much money as possible so that you can pay your tuition with cash. That's your goal. And the job doesn't even have to be in the field that you plan to study. Just as long as you've got a steady income, I mean, even $3,000 will be fine because those per month, that $3,000 per month over 3 years, that's a significant amount of money. That will most likely cover all of your tuition, and if not, probably a large portion of it. And the shortfall that you may have, you could easily cover by working weekends during your studies. Now, as soon as people think, oh, well, I'm going to have to work for 3 years before I can enroll, that means the people who graduated high school with me are going to be ahead in life. And what you have to understand is that once you graduate, you've got that degree and no debt because you've paid it off in cash. The people who enrolled into universities 3 years before you have most likely taken out debt, which they're going to pay for the next 10 years. They're going to have this financial burden with them for many years while you're going to be concentrating on saving up as much money as possible once you graduate and you start working because you don't have any student debt. So you're actually going to be ahead of them in life. Now, I'm sure you've heard of other options such as going to a community college, which is usually cheaper, or getting a bursary. But what if there was a way to possibly land your dream job without ever having to study? Now, what's the point of going to university actually? It's to get that necessary knowledge in order to be able to perform your duties at a job. But what if it was possible to get that knowledge without going to university? And how do you do that? Well, you could proposition a mentor and offer your services for free in exchange for knowledge. So you help out your mentor, whether it be part-time or full-time, preferably full-time so that you can get as much knowledge as possible in the shortest period. And you're going to receive the knowledge, practical experience. And that's much more valuable than theory. Theory from university helps, it kind of gives you a background, what to do, but nothing beats practice. And that's exactly what you're going to get from your mentor. Now, just because your services are for free in the beginning, it doesn't mean that it has to be like that forever. If you prove yourself to your mentor, remember, everybody wants to have good, reliable employees. And if that's what you show, then that person is likely to keep you on and pay you eventually. So you could renegotiate after 3 months, and after they're satisfied with your service, you come back to them and say, can we do this full time with payment? Otherwise, if it doesn't work out, you could still have them as a reference and you've still got that experience to take with you elsewhere. And this is actually a perfect way to Do it at any age. You don't have to be 18 to do this. It's the best time to do it at that age. But even if you're considering a career change at 30 and you're wondering how to get into a new field, but where you don't have experience, well, get a mentor, proposition them, and you could possibly work for them at night or over weekends, and you're providing your services while you're learning from them. And then one day, once you've built up enough knowledge, once you've got enough experience, the switch to that career is going to be a lot easier. So those are some of the ways that you could go about landing your dream job. And if you need more help with reducing your expenses, getting onto the path that you want to be financially, you can get in touch with me at Finish First Financially and possibly qualify for a free consultation on the channel. So get in touch with me. The information will be in the description below so that we can get you on the path to financial freedom ASAP.